We need to start by looking at the strategic role of marketing goods and services. So the reason why it's got marketing goods and services rather than just strategic role of marketing is that they want to remind you constantly that most people in Australia are involved in providing services rather than producing goods, like in manufacturing, things like that. So you need to remember all the way through that don't just keep writing, if you're marketing a good, if you're marketing a good, this product, because you need to remember that they want you to know, they want you to be able to demonstrate that you understand that a lot of people market services, and it's a little bit more tricky and a little bit more complicated to market services than it is goods, but it is important nonetheless. The role of marketing is really to generate funds for the other key business functions. By getting the product out there or by getting the service out there, you're generating funds, you're generating sales, you're generating leads, you're getting people to buy the product. And that's kind of the point of the business. You can't just take marketing out of it. And that's why the syllabus has this obsession with interdependence. With the key business functions, so operations, human resources, finance, and marketing, being dependent on one another. You can't just take marketing out, right? You can have all operations, human resources, finance, you can have it all, right? But if you never do any marketing, if you never actually tell anyone about your product, nobody's going to buy it and the business is going to collapse. So the role of marketing is to generate funds for those other key business functions. So if we put marketing on the left-hand side, and then we put the other key business functions on the right, so operations, human resources, finance, we can kind of see a two-way relationship between all of these. So what marketing does for operations is they set the goals. They tell operations, all right, these are the goals that we have. But operations also sets limits for marketing. Right? There are some things, that you might say, okay, it'd be really good if we could put in the ad that this product is made of solid gold. And then you go to operations and you say, hey, can we make it out of gold? No, we can't make it out of gold. It's toilet paper. Operations is going to set limits for marketing. When it comes to human resources, the marketing department will set goals for operations, which then has a flow-on effect because people need to be hired to do those actual things. And human resources, what they do is they provide the skilled workers to meet those expectations that marketing has created. So if the marketing department puts ads about the high quality of the product, it's the human resources department that has to hire people good enough and skilled enough and train them and keep them to actually be able to do that, to actually be able to provide a good of that quality or a service of that quality. And when it comes to the finance department, obviously marketing is generating the funds for the finance department. But what finance has to do, what the finance department or the finance person or the person, if it's a single person running the business, what the finance part of their brain needs to do is pay for marketing activities. And they need to pay for them on time. They need to pay for ads and things like that. And they need to do it in a timely way. But at the heart of all of this, at the heart of all of these functions, is that product, is exactly what the product is. And the product could be a good, or it could be a service, or it could be a combination of both. So if you get especially a short answer question about the strategic role of marketing goods and services, it probably wouldn't be something like in a business report, because business reports are generally much more practical. Rather than this whole, let's look at the interdependence. It's probably something for a short answer question, but you need to have something you can write. I don't want you to think, I'll just make it up on the spot, because people aren't good at making things up on the spot when it's their final business studies exam. So it's something for you to memorize.